So last night we had our first named storm come through the UK. We are in the Marina, so tucked up nice and safe, but it got pretty windy. So what's happened?
Well, we got up, so we got up this morning, and actually the power's just come back on, so we got up to find that there was no power. We then noticed, because we'd had our heating running all night, that the red light was on, and our house batteries were right down. We were down in the 10-11 volts. Like I say, the battery charger just clicked on just before we could get a chance to actually record it. But we've got a couple of low voltage alarms on here, yeah, it's coming back up now. We're up to 12.78, but I think I've got 2 batteries now on my Christmas list because they are tated. So they shouldn't have done that. They were left charged. We noticed actually when we came last time that they were at 12.4, which is low. So yeah. So last couple of times it's 12.4, and then that the charger was on the charger was on for most of last night, but then has then gone off. So at some point in the night, with all the electrics running, the heater running, fridge, everything else that we've had on, it's pulled the battery voltage right down. So yeah, it's really early. That's why I look a complete mess, because we've just woke up. So we're just going to dash out and turn the power on, but it's actually just come back on. So yeah.
You still need to go out and put the gas on.
I do need to go out and put the gas on.
Otherwise, we're not having any breakfast.
Yeah. Make sure that charger is back and running. Let's try and get something back in them, but I'm assuming there we go. Got a green light now. I've never got up to see red on there, so yeah. And instantly that voltage has jumped up. That's not a good sign. That should climb gently. So you wouldn't expect it to go from where it was at 10 to 12.8 with the charger being on for like 2 seconds to almost 14. So, and that the ampage you can see is dropping really, really quickly. So they've had it. That's it. 2 new batteries, please. Let's go and get the gas on and get some breakfast and a drink.
So it's not very nice today. Let's just show you around. So we're in the Marina. Still, we ain't going anywhere. It's Storm Arwen, I think. Sort of 100-mile-an-hour winds. Not too bad down here though. Matt checked the wind for us, and it's, I think, maximum sort of 40 knots, something like that. It's not too bad. We're tucked up, nice and cosy. We're just going to venture out just for a little bit of a nosy round. But I thought I would show you this.
I'm just going to change this rope a little bit. It's squeaking terrible, so I'm going to see if I can just change how that's coming off there. I'll wait for this big gust to go. There we go. Nope. To the back. See if doing it like that. So stop it squeaking.
Just explain what you've done with that line, because
yeah,
we use a spring line, but a lot of boats don't seem to have them on.
Yeah.
But why did we use one?
We used the spring line to stop the boat going forwards and backwards, basically. So you can see everybody's bought one, but us and our next door neighbour both got one. So because we haven't got a rope going that way, really this pontoon should be bigger than this, and that would go off that way, and that stop the boat going forwards, and the front one would stop it going backwards. But because we can't do that, we have to come off like this. And if you notice, I'm not going through that lead at the back, that fair lead, because it's showing signs of movement. So I'm just going over the rail for now. Yeah, so tighten this. Bloody tighten this line up here, or just change how this line's coming off, because that is squeaking terrible, and I think it's because how I'd hooked it on the front, it was actually trying to tighten the rope. So I'm hoping that with it being around the back of the cleat, in fact it sounds quieter already, so I think that sorted that out. And then generally I'm just going to tighten the lines a little bit, because I think we're a little bit slack, we've got a bit too much movement, which is making everything wobble round. And so I'm going to tighten that line over there a little bit to pull that back in. It's not as bad now as it was, because I did it a little bit a while ago, to be honest. Well, let's just give it another go.
I cannot tell you how cold it actually is. I'm just going to go to the end and just show everybody what it is actually like today. So we are in Mercury Marina, which is on the Hamble. Quick spin round. These guys are getting ready for dredging, so some of the boats have moved around. But I just want to show you what the Hamble looks like today. Really, really quite miserable. You'll look, hopefully you can see on the floor there's all these shells. I will try and get some footage, but the seagulls are great. They jump up and down throwing all the clowns on the floor trying to get their breakfast. So the weather today is awful. It's freezing cold, the wind is bitterly cold.
Okay, so hopefully you can see now I've got 3 lines pretty much constantly under tension. I've got the front 2, hopefully you can see. Those 2 are under tension, 1 each side. And then this spring line is pretty much under tension now the whole time. So hopefully that'll stop the boat sort of moving and twisting quite so much as it has been. And just make it a little bit more comfortable inside. Basically, I mean, it's absolutely fine. We're perfectly safe. But what's happening is there's a lot of noise. So just to try and cut down on that noise a little bit, that might do the trick. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's been some monster gusts. I mean, the average wind speed was, I think, 20 or 25 knots last night as an average. But we were getting gusts well over 40 knots in here, and it's really well protected. I mean, as you can see, you know, we're basically at the side of the land, but it's just really windy, and it was a really big storm. So yeah, hopefully that'll just sort that out a little bit.
Hello.
Well, let's go in. It's freezing. Catherine's not really surfaced. She's just here chilling, watching a bit of telly. Yeah. So get the heating back on now, and that's us. So we know these things kind of come in 3s. So the third thing that's gone wrong, so if we go through them, we've had our boom that the reefing line went in. We've had the batteries now that seem to have died. And the third thing is we've got an oil leak. So let me just show you on here. So if we zoom in, look underneath, and we've got oil dripping in the bilge. So I'm not quite sure where that is coming from. I'll get a bit of background on it. It's quite a lot at the front. So yeah, so we just need to have a bit of a look. Hopefully it's not a the sump seal. The sump nut is down there, so with a bit of luck it's just that, and it just needs nipping up. So what we're going to try and do is slide the camera in, filming upwards, and kind of see what we can see really. So let's have a look. So I'm pretty sure that's coming out of that sump nut or whatever that is. It looks like it's got a small pipe on it as well, so do a bit of investigation on that. And so I've cleaned it all off. Hopefully if it is that's where the leak is coming from, then it's just a case of nipping that up and not having to do anything more drastic. But hopefully that's identified what it is. But there's no oil down there now. It's all nice and clean, so we'll leave that until next time, and then we'll have another look at it and see what the situation is then, and then do a video on fixing it if that's what we have to do. I know we've captured this storm quite a bit today, but when these gusts come, they do come, and it's really, really windy. Here's another one now. See that flag over there? It's a really, really quite a big storm, to be honest. Everybody's rocking all over the place, and yeah. I've not seen many boats go out today, which is good. I mean, you know, you don't need to go out in these conditions. There you go, you see. See the boat rocking. Yeah, if you don't need to go out in these conditions, don't go out. There's just no point. Stay somewhere fairly safe like this, and yeah, just batten down hatches really. There's quite a few people on their boats. We can see lights and things on. We can hear heaters and things going. Yeah, not many people are venturing out, which is good. You don't want to go out if you don't need to. But yeah, it's been pretty much 24 hours now of it, just slightly over. It doesn't really show any signs of stopping. It kind of comes like that. It calms down for a little bit, and then you get a really big gust or a series of gusts, and it gets very windy again. It's been like this now for a good probably 2 hours. But it did calm down a little bit today, but it's picked back up again now. Anyway, it's time for some tea.